Happy Monday to you. This is John McEntyre Show Live. I'm John McEntyre. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know I did. It was a little warm, but it was still a real good weekend. Hung out with some family, all of that good stuff. Um, but today, I actually have a good show with Monday. I'm kind of working with Monday, sort of like a mindset type thing. And this one is it is really good because it help you really look into understanding yourself and your style, how you would manage money and how you would go for goals and all of that. So it's going to be a real good one. Sharing a story with one of our clients, but you know the routine. We're going to do some wallet wins. We'll cover some wallet wins. Then we'll get into the topic. Give you the question of the day. Then I'll be on my way. But I can't stop. So I'll stop whenever I stop. I maybe go to a support group. But wallet win number one here. Um, this was for someone that actually contacted us that Friday after our Medicare show. Um, and we gave them a little input on what they should do. Then they let us know what how everything worked out. Um, but I contacted my primary care physician and my specialist to confirm that they were accepting my Medicare Advantage plan for the next year, and they are. So I really appreciate the tip. So yes, that is good to know. That is a wallet win, because a lot of times with those Medicare Advantage plans, um, probably the overall structure of the plan will usually stay the same. They just may make some minor changes, so it is good to know about those. And like I say, you will receive the letter letting you know if there are going to be any major changes. Um, but that was very proactive, very well done to be proactive with talking with your doctors. And I'm quite sure they could appreciate that also, to know that you are involved in your plan. So wallet win number two. This was uh, abbreviated letter that we received from someone Andrea was working with, and it goes, letting you guys know that thanks to you, we just had the best vacation ever. We followed the budget Andrea helped us create. We spent wisely, and we did not even need to use our savings. And they have a lot of exclamation points. And so we're looking forward to our next meeting with Andrea. We didn't think we could ever live this way. So, yep, that is a good to go on vacation and not even use all the money that you budgeted for. Yeah, yeah, to come back in the black. Yeah, that is a wild win. That's a that's almost it's almost a fictional wallet win. If I didn't know the people, definitely would believe that. But yeah, so that just goes to show if you put it in a plan, um, and stick with it, usually and also you become conscious, you become conscious of how much you actually are spending, and then it's like, I really don't need that, I don't need this. These kids, they can't find they had lost the toys that we bought before we even got back home, and all of this, and everything, and I'm halfway sick from all the food. That's usually me. I'm glad to get back because I when I get back home, I automatically get back on my eating plan. But as long as I'm uh, somewhere, wherever we are, I'm going to eat. I'm going to test all of the foods and ice creams and pizzas and all of that good stuff. So uh, that is a good one. You pay attention to everything. You won't overspend during your vacation. So wallet win number three is also another pretty much a thank you letter. And it is, my fiance and I opened a joint wedding high yield savings account. So far, we have $2,300 in it, and some family members and friends are planning to make contributions to help us reach our goal. We are so relieved that we will have a debt-free dream wedding. Yeah, yeah, that goes into the Hall of Fame of wallet wins there. Having a plan. People have talked about plans. I've seen some very interesting ways people have paid for them. Probably the most interesting one, a friend of mine, Deborah Kennedy, hers was so creative. She actually made the Charlotte wedding magazine the cover, and they covered her daughter's entire wedding. It was a few years ago. It was before COVID. Um, and she's in television. She's been on the show a couple of times, and she won Miss West Virginia when she was younger, and then she won Ms. North Carolina. So she's a consultant. She's like well connected with all of these companies, the wedding companies, corporate wise, and all this. And she does a lot of work in the community in Charlotte. So she's very connected, very outgoing, and she basically got her um, partners and vendors to sponsor her daughter's wedding. And so this wedding went way up into the six figures, and it was pretty much 100% sponsored. Um, and that was creative. I was like, I would have got the sponsors, and I would have said, okay, we received 100,000 in sponsorships. We're gonna spend 50,000 on this wedding. They could care less. Their name is out there. I'm pocketing in 50 G's. I'm putting 50 of those things in my pocket. Um, but I mean, it was a extravagant wedding. She had um, the after party. I call them the after parties. It was at one of the most expensive venues. One of the most, it was. I mean, everything was just beautiful in the magazine. They did. I mean, it was like a 5-page spread in the magazine, and so she was like, "Hey, I planned for it. I wanted her to have a big wedding, and I was like, I'm going to give her a big wedding one way or another." And she did it, and it was very creative, and I learned a lot. She was also one of those that say, "Hey, you don't ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. You never know until you ask." And she did some big asking, and she got what she asked for. So that is a very creative way to actually open a high yield savings account. I'll also put that in the category with college savings plans. Open up a college savings plan. Let your circle know, your family, friends. There's a lot of people out there that would love to contribute to your child going to college, and it's a tax write off. So sometimes they're looking for other tax write-offs, and that's a good way to get one, helping a kid with their education, contributing to a college savings fund. That's a big one. So it's just a quick tip idea to throw out there. um, all right, so we had three nice wallet wins to start the week, and now let's get into this. It's more of a topic. It was a question, but I made it into a topic. And basically, the question was, um, someone else asked the question, and so I shared it with a story from one of our clients. And it's basically, do you have to pay off all debt before you can really do anything else? Um, and my answer is, it really depends. That's a personal choice. When we're coaching people, we sort of let them set the parameters, and then we work with what they give. If they're getting a little bit too far out there, or they just don't want to make any type of give any leeway or make any sacrifices, then yes, it's time to have a conversation. But most of the time, it's like, I'll give over here if I can do this, and so that's how we coach. And a lot of times, we really don't know what changes need to be made until we move down the line. So that's where the accountability, and you come back, and then we reassess things and change things around. And with this particular situation, um, my answer is this depends, but also yes, you can live. There's plenty of people that are there. They spend, they go on vacations, they buy things, and they're still in debt. They're just not creating new debt, is what it is. They're living, now that they have a budget and all of this, they're just living within those parameters of the budget and making things happen. It actually happens just as fast, because they're not creating anything, and they're following the other principles that we have in place, so they can actually make it happen. And in the case of one of our clients, she had a very good income. um, she was just pretty much new to money management, is what it was. She just didn't know a lot about it. She tried to read books, and sort of confused her a little bit, because there's so many confusing philosophies out there. um, And then she just made the call, set up an appointment. Andre walked her through some things, and then they started working together. And so the first 3 months, everything was going well. She was willing to just do what Andrea suggested, and by her reading some of the books, she was like, okay, I'm going to follow this particular author and experts, like his advice, and just not do anything till I've paid off debt. Okay, well, and the plan was put together. Fourth month, she went on a spending spree. And I mean, she pretty much, the equivalent of someone's been on a diet too long and they go binging. So she pretty much went on a spending binge is what happened. And it was like a weekend thing because she has a great income, single, all of this good stuff. So this was no big deal. The problem came when she was like feeling guilty, and she was mad, and she was frustrated, and um she it just wasn't working for her. She started beating herself up is what was happening. um and so we had to basically Andre had to basically get her out of that, because that wasn't the right way to react to it. Shame and guilt and anger is not the way to react to anything. It was just a misstep. That's all that it was. Help to agree that it was a misstep. Okay, now how you sort of make decisions. Now where you're sort of motivated. Um, you didn't really have to go that extreme. You really didn't have to, but it was your choice. And so she agreed. No, no, I can't. I can't do it, and I don't want to do it. So they rearranged some things. She got her enthusiasm back, and she was running with it. She's good. She had some extra money. She made up for the for the binge. She had, because she came with some savings. She came with some things. She was just wanting to make sure she was maximizing everything, and knowing she knew what she knew, but she also knew what she didn't know, and that's the mark of someone that's going to actually achieve financial success throughout life. Knowing what you don't know. 'Cause a lot of people, they think they know everything, especially if they're smart in certain areas. They think that they're smart in all areas, and finance is not one of those areas where you can know everything. You just can't. It's just too much. Especially if you work a job, you work somewhere else 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, you definitely can't know everything about finance. There's people on Wall Street that don't know everything about finance, because if they did, they would all be billionaires. You know, there's a lot of high income, poor people on Wall Street, make good money, but don't do too well with it. So like I say, once she got to the other side of the shame and the guilt, and anger, got back on track. She's doing very well. Um, and what she learned something about herself. That was the big takeaway. Okay, now you understand sacrificing it for you. It doesn't work well for you, and it's also unnecessary for you. Just to stress that point, everything's moved forward. Some people have that. They have that ability. They have that personality where they can go like extreme. They'll go into the sacrifice. Okay, I want to pay all of this debt off. How soon could I pay all of this debt off? Well, if you follow this, you could actually do it in 2 years, and they will do it in 2 years, maybe even earlier. They're just that type of a personality. There's other personalities that they don't work well that way. It may have been something from the past. Sacrifice to them could actually be a scarcity thing. You know, because some people that do grit their teeth and follow those extreme ways of getting out of debt or getting their finances in order, sometimes the pendulum swings the other way a little bit too far, and they become extreme in another direction, and they become scarcity minded. So now they're just afraid to spend money, period. So they're not even taking care of basic necessities any longer, because they're worried about saving and not going into debt. Well, you have the money. You don't have to go in debt to take care of the necessities. you know and so that's what can happen to some people. They could swing them into the other direction. So we just go what is called, we get people to become intentional. That's the word. Become intentional. and understand your values. And those two will definitely guide you forward. You will always make the right decisions for yourself because you're intentional. So that means you have your goals, you know what you're aiming for, and you have your values in place, and you know how you're going to do it, which way will work best for you. And having those values in place, you won't be wasteful with money because you know what's important. And if a nice vacation every few months is important to you, you will put the money, you will do away with this, maybe going out every weekend or going out every other night to eat out. You may say, no, I'm going to break that down. I'll go eat out one, if I meat for instance, you give me some good pizza one day a week, I'm usually good. I can usually handle that. I don't get pizza one day a week, I can end up on a bad binge, and I'm hanging around trying to score a slice from this place and this place, and selling stuff to get pizza. No, just kidding. But that's what but that's, you have to really understand yourself. That's understand your values. And when people understand their values, and that's at the core of everything that we talk about, it's all about values with us. What's important to you? Because once you understand what's important to you, some of the other things, they become very unimportant, and so you just reallocate the money. You say, "Oh, okay. Well, it's really not important for me to go, like I say, go out every weekend. I don't mind cooking and eating in every. Okay, we'll take that money and apply it toward that. Okay, yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna do it." And then they celebrate. They say, "Okay, well, next weekend, we celebrated. We did very good on our budget. We did very good. We've contributed to everything. So all is well. So this week we'll actually go out." And so they make the exchanges, they reallocate their funds, and they move forward, and everyone's happy. So just being intentional, understanding your value, what's important, will definitely carry you through any of the challenges. There are going to be challenges, roadblocks. That's what will carry you through it, and that's what will make you financially successful. So I hope that information was helpful. I'll do the question of the day. And basically, the question of the day is, what's a financial habit do you struggle with the most? I've asked that before, but I just wanted to, because of today's topic, I just want to ask it. What is a financial habit that you struggle with the most? Um, and if that was one of the questions, but then I just remembered I looked at my notes wrong. Live television. My real question is, what's your achievement style? What is your achievement style? There was basically a two-part question, but that's the main gist of it. What is your achievement style? When you go after goals, what is your style? Are you more of an extremist type person where you burn bridges, you do everything, and you sacrifice all to get there? Or are you one of those, I'll smell the roses, I'll enjoy life as I move forward, and I'll achieve the goal in its timing? I do have a timing in place. So what is your achievement style? That's the question of the day for you to take with you. All right. So, like I said, I hope that I gave some informative information, some tips that would help you. And if I did, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, let other ones know about it. Share your wallet wins, hashtag wallet wins, your questions. And we will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good day.